Hi everyone, Jacob Modak here. I trust you find this clip helpful for you. And if you need this kind of in-depth coaching, then feel free to click the link in the description of this video to schedule a free connection call with me about potentially joining the Trauma Healed program.
Being able to understand both of those sides, that's the place to bring to any situation, because then when that aspect of us can be the one that's predominantly observing the situation and defining the perception of the situation as the ego is feeling, because the ego knows that that aspect of ourselves is present and that's the truth of us. And I'm going to get into specifics with this in a little bit. Then the ego doesn't feel like it needs to shut down in a protective mechanism if catastrophe hits, because it knows that it has the permission to be human and it's important to feel, because the grief and sadness and pain, it doesn't mean we're defined by it, but that definite feeling and honoring of our humanness without engaging in it in a way where we allow it to define us and then we feel like we're broken from the situation, that allows us to connect to deeper to the person that has gone through that, and it allows us to connect deeper to ourselves and be more wise and informed, and then be able to share that wisdom in going forward in our life as well. So there's always a golden aspect to it. And as my Thai boxing teacher told me when I was about 18 and I broke my hand, so you could probably see there's like a scar on my
wow
hand there. So that was the one and only time I've lost my temper, and because it just went really sideways, I've had a pretty good reminder to not lose my temper. It was very important as well in the aftermath to allow myself to feel like I wasn't wrong for feeling. I did feel like that for a while, but I've done enough work now to understand that that's not the case. But in terms of allowing it to cloud me and then do something that isn't optimal, that's I've managed to allow that to be the one and only time. And one of the things that my teacher told me when I told him, because I was 18 at the time and he was like in his late 40s at that time, so he was like he's just so much more developed than I was, because I was just very confused at the time, as most 18-year-old guys are. In many respects, he told me, Jacob, sometimes the most painful things in life teach us things we can't learn any other way.
True.
But at the same time, the lesson can't come if we don't have the permission to feel what we're feeling.
Well, that's kind of what I did, because I was like comparing myself to how I should feel.
Yeah.
Or how I felt prior to before, and that's like, right, but that's how I feel now. Mm-hmm. But then I was judging myself based off of my feelings.
Yeah, and this is where the more sort of, because we've been talking about things at this moment, but this is where the technicalities of what to do and how comes in terms of like jigging wires about in here, so to speak. So I think that would be helpful to move into. So the first thing that I would like to do before we do that is, if you get your blank piece of paper,
okay,
and I'm going to do this with you as well.
Okay.
So the first thing, so we're going to be doing it together. So the first thing, and it won't be too long, and the whole point here is to just draw and colour like a child. So there's no right or wrong, and there's no judgment.
Okay.
It's just instinctual. So what I'd like you to do is just draw a circle, kind of like the size of the paper. So just kind of to the boundaries of it.